Welcome to Art History Unhinged, Bedtime Gallery. Tonight we'll travel back to a quiet summer night in 1889, when Vincent van Gogh painted one of the most beloved works of art in the world. This is your story to drift off to, slowly and gently, one brushstroke at a time. Close your eyes. The stars above you are just beginning to glow. The wind outside rustles through tall trees. The scent of lavender and pine lingers on the breeze. Everything is blue, a deep, dreamlike blue. It's nighttime in Saint-Rémy de Provence, France. The year is 1889. A man named Vincent is awake, though the rest of the world sleeps. He peers out his window, watching the moon rise, and then he begins to paint. Vincent's room is small. There's a wooden bed, a table with paints, a single chair, and most importantly, a window. This window doesn't open. It's barred, like all the others in the asylum. But that doesn't matter to Vincent. Because through this window, he sees an entire universe. Mountains in the distance, a sleepy village below, a sky so wide it seems to wrap around the world. At night, when the stars come out, the sky begins to move. Not in real life, but in his mind. He imagines it swirling, breathing, dancing. Some nights, he stays up for hours, watching, waiting, thinking. Then, one night, he picks up his brush. He lays out his paints slowly. He chooses each colour like it's a secret. Outside, crickets chirp. A breeze sneaks through the crack beneath the door. The scent of turpentine fills the air, and Vincent begins. There's no moonlight in his room. He paints by candlelight. The walls creak. The night hums. He begins with blue, not just one shade, many. Ultramarine, cobalt, cerulean, indigo. He layers it thickly. The night sky stretches across the canvas like a living thing. Then he dots it with stars. But they're not just stars. They're glowing, swirling suns. He remembers something his brother Theo once said. Sometimes, looking at your skies, I feel like they're alive. So he makes them alive. He paints wind like it's visible, long ribbons twisting through the night. He paints energy, movement, and feeling. His mind is racing, but his hand is steady. This isn't just the sky. This is what the sky feels like to him. He dips his brush again. Thicker strokes, bolder swirls. Each line becomes a breath. Each dot is a heartbeat. This sky will not sit still, and that's what he loves about it. Vincent looks again from his window. Below, the town is quiet. No one knows he's watching. No one knows he's painting. The buildings are imagined. He isn't painting Saint-Rémy exactly. He's painting what home feels like. A small church, tiny houses, sleepy rooftops, all tucked beneath the swirling heavens. And in the foreground, a dark shape rises. A tree. But not just any tree. A cypress. To Vincent, cypress trees are powerful, almost like flames, reaching upward as if they're trying to speak to the stars. Some say cypress trees are symbols of death. Others say they're bridges between earth and sky. Vincent says, They are beautiful in lines and proportions, like an Egyptian obelisk. So he paints the tree with thick black strokes, a silhouette of mystery and calm. He doesn't try to make it pretty. He tries to make it asterisk true. You might wonder, why paint at night? Why not wait until the morning when the world is easier to see? But for Vincent, night was everything. He once wrote to Theo, "I often think that the night is more alive and more richly coloured than the day." When others saw darkness, Vincent saw colour. He wasn't afraid of the dark. He was curious about it. He believed there was poetry in shadows, hope in the stars. Painting the night was his way of finding light within himself, even when things felt heavy, even when he didn't understand the world or his place in it. He would say, "I want to paint the stars with hope in my heart." And so he did. Now let's slow everything down. Imagine the candlelight flickering across the floor, the smell of oil paint, the hush of the French countryside. Vincent's brush moves across the canvas. Small strokes, short lines, spirals, dots. The night sky takes shape. The village begins to breathe. The stars begin to sing. He pauses to look, wipes paint on his sleeve, smiles a little. It's almost done. He doesn't know what the world will think. But that's not why he paints. He paints because he needs to, because it makes the inside of his head feel a little quieter. He paints to remember what wonder feels like. He paints to remember himself. Some nights were harder than others. Vincent wasn't always well. He'd been through heartbreak, hunger, hospital beds. He worried he'd never belong. But when he painted, things made sense. He could take sadness and turn it into colour. He could take fear and turn it into light. He could take madness and make something beautiful from it. And that night, painting Starry Night, it was like he was saying, "I'm still here, and I can still see the stars." He was not broken. He was building. He was not lost. He was looking. And what he found was wonder. Vincent never knew that Starry Night would become famous. He never saw crowds gather to stare at it. He never heard it called a masterpiece. He gave it to Theo and moved on. But the painting stayed, and it spoke. To dreamers, to the lonely, to those who have stared out a window and wondered if they'd be okay. It said, "There is still beauty. There is still light. There is still you." And the sky, in all its chaos, never stopped spinning. So now, as you lay here listening, the stars above you still spin. The sky is still blue. The cypress trees still reach. The wind still moves. And if you close your eyes just a little tighter, you might see it too. A sky that dances, a village at rest, a painter who once saw the night differently. And you, still here, still dreaming, still glowing. Let the colors of the night cradle you. Let your breath move like brush strokes. The world is quiet now. And somewhere, across time and paint and dreams, Vincent van Gogh is still painting. Sleep gently, sleep deeply, sleep beneath the stars. Good night.